Thank you. Thank you, guys. We acknowledge that the land on which we are gathered here today is unceded territory of the Wiyot people. The Wiyot people continue to live and thrive on this land today. It's surrounded by traditional and ancestral and present homeland of several other local tribes, indigenous nations including Upa, Karuk, Matol, Wailaki, and Yurok. These are some of the tribes that make up Humboldt County. I'm a citizen of the Norwelmak-Wintu Nation out of Trinity County, which extends all the way down Covelo and Lot North in Shasta County. The Wiyot name for Eureka is Turichichi, meaning where you sit and rest, as this piece of land is between South Bay, the Wichi, in Wiyot, where Wiyot people can move via canoe to the Mad River area for fishing. They would stop and rest, particularly over on the island where the restaurant is right before the bridge.
Woodley Island.
Woodley Island, thank you. Traditional prayer in the Ramuk, we always stand and we look upward and we hold our hands up. You're welcome to do that with me if you wish. I will be speaking in some Ramuk. Welcome Zoom people as well. All of us, Kachepet. Your Nietzsche is calling. Niavita, hear my prayers, Spirit Giver. Your children seek renewal. The land people, the water people, all of your creations, renew our spirit. Ka'achepet, make us whole again. Niavita, Sawala Atein, Ka'achepet, make us whole. We honor the Wiyot peoples, all my relations. Hope. And I welcome our podium person.
Podium person. Our PP. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. I have been told to inform you do not stare directly into the shirt. All right. I'm Scott. I'll be.
Yeah, you're coming.
Oh, there I am. Oh, okay. I was frozen. All right. Oh, that'd be right. I knew that when I designed that last year. I knew I was wearing the same thing. We'll explain what's going on in a moment, but first of all, let me welcome everybody. I'm going to take care of the announcements here, and then after Angelica does her talk, I'll be back to do a few more. So first of all, we were going to put the words come out of mouth. Marvin, there we go. If you could put the slide on screen for the welcoming affirmation. Okay, we're all going to say together what you see on the top of the screen, and then you're going to turn to somebody else and you're going to say, with enthusiasm and with intent, you'll say the bottom part. Don't just like let it roll off your lips. Just do it then. Okay.
Pause for station identification.
So I was in radio for years because we used to always say we pause for station identification with small hands. So we pause for a station. Never mind. All right. Yeah, thank you. If you got to explain it, it just ruins it. Am I supposed to wear that? Okay, there we go. All right, together we will say, we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. And to somebody with enthusiasm, say, to somebody with enthusiasm. To somebody with enthusiasm. All right, we'll put our weekly schedule on the screen for a moment so you can see all of the exciting events that are taking place here at the center over the next week. And what was that? Okay. So these are not all the events. Let's just move forward. Why am I wearing rainbow colors, and why are so many other people wearing rainbow colors? And how can you too be involved? These are the questions that are being asked today. So as a reminder, last week we were asked. There is a in light of what happened where the show in Ferndale was canceled due to threats. It is being brought back to the College of the Redwoods at the end of this month. A good friend of mine is one of the organizers. She sent out a request to lots and lots of people asking if they would make a video of We Are the World, or at least the chorus, and we're going to lip sync it. Yes?
So it's still happening, they're just moving it to College of the Redwood?
As I understand, yes.
Oh, that's great. I thought it was being canceled.
No, I think that according to this, it looks like it's going to be at College of the Redwood. I mean, it looks like it's the same thing, it's just moved. So last week I asked for volunteers. I said, and I sent out an email for people who wanted to be involved in that. Said, please wear rainbowy colors or bright colors if you can. It's not important if you cannot. And even if you did not sign up, after choir practice today, Donna will be doing choir practice, leading the choir practice. Then after choir practice, we are going to get up here and we are going to lip sync to the chorus of We Are the World. If you're wearing the rainbow colors, it's great. I got extras. I'm wearing the socks. I'll show you my underwear if you really want to see it. And for the final coup de grace, there we go, we got that. So we are going to be allies today and help those people who are constantly under siege, or so it seems. Anna?
Well, if we do have the time for the choir practice, I just hope everybody will be patient and wait
Oh, yeah.
until, so please don't leave if you signed up. The more people, the better.
Yeah, it'll be really nice. And whoever can make it,
We're just lip syncing, they're not recording our choir.
and we'll go over all of that after the service so we can move forward with that. But yeah, if you want to be involved, even if you didn't sign up, if you just want to have some fun and show other people that we care because we are the world, please stay after choir practice and we won't all stand here staring at the choir while they're practicing going, when are you done? We will give them the room that they need and we'll figure out what we're going to do. We'll just see what happens. Okay, as for other events taking place, yoga with Kathy Goodman. This really does look cute. I just got to see it for the first time. My watch has even got rainbow. Wait, can't see it. There we go. It's a rainbow watch. Okay, so yoga with Kathy Goodman. That takes place, I believe it's tomorrow. Yes, it is. At 11 o'clock. And again on Thursday, as I'm trying to read through all of that. Let's have that slide if we could, Marvin. We need to have the clicker up here, and then we can just do it without having to pester Marvin. The April healing service, which is led by, there we go, which is led by Karen, will take place on April 5th, first Wednesday of each month. Karen, did you want to say anything about it?
No, just come.
Okay, no, just come. All right, that works. Easter celebration will be next Sunday. It is a potluck, and there will be junior church. Bring what you can, and after the service, there will be the potluck in the social hall. I guess that's what we call that. Excuse me? Will there be eggs? I would. Chocolate bunnies. Bookstore. Oh, and I'm supposed to have another announcement put in here in a second. So I'll do these two announcements, and then I'm supposed to call up Angelica. So the bookstore, we have got previously used books for $1 off. See Michelle or somebody else who looks important if you would like to buy one of our books. The little pantry needs to be fed so that we can help feed the community. Whatever you can donate to the pantry, non-perishable foods, please. You can bring them by Monday between noon and 4 or just put them in the little pantry. And I think that's it for the announcements. The contemplative meditation will be done by Karen in a moment. Oh, this month's theme. Let's show this month's theme. There we go. This is the power of growth. Thank you, Rick, for saying it looked like Winnie the Pooh. That wasn't the intent when I designed it, but I like the result that it did. It looked like Winnie the Pooh. Angelica, would you like to come up? And
by the way, you did have Winnie the Pooh in mind when you did that, because you told me.
Well, after
the thing that's missing is the jar of honey.
Well, yeah, when I put it together, after I looked at it, I said, it does look like Winnie the Pooh. Okay, lectern is yours.
All right, great. Thank you very much. I do want to add to an announcement about our little food pantry. I love the fact that so many people are donating goods for it. Baby food is good, milk products are good. Single serving cans, particularly with Pop Tops. Any cans, try to get the ones with Pop Tops. Those of you who have brought big bags of rice or beans or whatever, many of these people are homeless. They have no way to cook it. So I actually took some. I bought some the other day because I looked in there and went, look at all this stuff. So I bought some rice and beans. So if you, that are in big bags, right? So if anybody needs anything like that, let's open the drawer and you can make a donation to the our little food pantry for it. But please remember that those large quantities, and somebody brought a big, huge can of applesauce. If somebody has a really good idea for a thing for next week's potluck, take that big can of applesauce home and use it. Otherwise, somebody could buy it. So one of the things that we do the first of every month is we honor somebody in our community who has gone above and beyond what you might think that they would do. So this month, our council picked Anna Hamilton. So I know we have a slide for that, Marvin, so that everybody can see what it looks like, but here is the thing that's going to go up on the board.
Thank you so much.
Wait just a minute.
Oh, hilarious.
Isn't that cute? So Rick wrote on here, Anna is one of those members who patrols our center looking for ways to improve it. And she does. I mean, now we have handrails out there on the stairs. We have...
That was, Rick did that.
Yeah, but you were the one that said we should do it. And then we have our fire extinguisher is mounted more securely. The kitchen is sanitized and cleaned every time we use it, all because of this woman. So, let's see. Oh, he actually said that here. She suggested, Anna suggested adding handrails to the front steps and an improved message center in the social hall. She stays after the Sunday service and makes sure the kitchen and tables are spick and span. And of course, she delights us all with her awesome music, which she's going to do today. So this one is and let me give you a hug from all of us. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
What a photograph. You couldn't have got a better one.
Katie even got to be on that photograph. That's fantastic.
Love you, Anna.
And now everybody take a deep breath. And we're going to go into our contemplative. Karen Blakely is doing it this morning.
Well, good morning. So our contemplative today is from this amazing book, The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. He is one of my favorites. And it has kind of a couple of meditation prompts at the end. So I'm going to use those to just guide us right on in to our sacred silence. And then Jackson will do the music to let us know when that time has ended. And I'll speak the treatment. And then Jackson will play us out. The simple rose at each moment of its slow blossoming is as open as it can be. The same is true of our lives. In each stage of our unfolding, we are as stretched as possible. For the human heart is quite slow to bloom, and it is only seen as lacking when compared to the imagined lover or father or mother we'd like to become. It helps to see ourselves as flowers. If a flower were to push itself to open faster, which it cannot, it would tear. Yet, we humans can and often do push ourselves. Often we tear in places no one can see. When we push ourselves to unfold faster or more deeply than is natural, we thwart ourselves. For nature takes time, and most of our problems stem from impatience. Perhaps one of the hardest remedies to accept for our pain of becoming is that wherever we are on our path, no matter how flawed or incomplete, is a blooming unto itself. However much we've done, at the end of the day, is more than enough. It is a dream becoming truth. Breathe fully And do not wait for the rose to fully open to see its beauty. Breathe deeply and look upon yourself as such a rose. Do not wait for some imagined end to see your own beauty. Rather, inhale and appreciate the beauty of yourself about to open. Please take this into the sacred silence. And so we deepen into this moment, into this space where we know that God is all that there is, that God is that love, that joy, that blessing. And we just affirm that right here and right now, that we are what it is, that that same love and beauty is who and whose we are. That every cell and fiber of our being is alive with this. Yes. And so it is in this space of knowing that I simply speak a word for our entire congregation and our service and our world this day. Knowing and claiming that love rules. That as we deepen into this space of love, there is no place that God is not. That it is love that leads the way. It is love that lifts up all of our voices in joy, in support. That it is love that pours forth from our beloved band and our guest artist this day. That it is love that speaks through Reverend Angelica. That it is love speaking through each one of us as we look out and reflect that truth of oneness and love to every person that we meet and speak with this day. And so I know that right here and right now, that as we are gathered, we are up-leveling the vibration of the planet itself. That even in the places that seem dark, love is reaching. It is seeping in right here, right now. For as we have already said, there is no place that God is not. And so I just rejoice in this knowing. I rejoice in that love, in that beauty, in that joy that is the divine unfolding in greater and greater ways right here and right now. As I cast this prayer forth into the law, I simply let it go and let it be, knowing that sweet Spirit always says, yes, my divine, yes. And so we affirm this together by saying together, and so it is.
When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jackson. And now it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium Reverend Angelica.
That sounded really good. Both of you did such a good job setting the tone for this morning. I love it. Just love it. So as you noticed before, the theme is the power of growth. And this morning, I picked the title, Rejoice in Nature. So let me ask you a question. I'm just going to invite you to say it out loud, hopefully not all at one time. But when you go out into nature, where is your favorite place to be? What? The refuge, okay.
The river.
The what?
The river.
The river.
The golf course.
The golf course. The beach. Great.
Backyard.
The backyard, definitely, yeah. Good, good. Your cat? With your cat. Especially if they're outside, right? In the sun. Yeah, cats really have it. They sort of have it down, don't they? They tend to lie in all the warm spots. I often come into my house and see my cats laying in little puddles of sun, and I've always thought about it as they are charging their solar batteries. So, do you remember being a child and we didn't have the things that made our neck go forward and, our thumbs, I think our thumbs are going to get more pointed or something as we evolve to be able to hit those little keys. But actually, no, that instead, now we can just vocalize and it'll type for us. But as a child, didn't most of you go outside and that was where you wanted to be most of the time? Get out of the house and be outside and be playing with your friends or riding your bike or doing whatever it was that you loved to do. My little sister and I had a wonderful, did I do something?
Yeah,
Oh.
you did.
Sorry. My little sister and I had a wonderful playhouse out in the backyard. And outside of that was a tennis court and a lawn and things like that. But that was one of my favorite places to be. Is I'd go in there and I'd pretend to make tea for us. And then we would take the chairs out and sit on the lawn and have tea and, talk about life from the point of view of a 12 and a 6-year-old or whatever. But it was really nice. You know, we never stayed inside the playhouse. We always did things in there, but then took them outside to do. And we were also blessed in having a driveway that came up from the street, went around a great big, beautiful oak tree, and my job, of course, was to sweep the oak tree leaves all the time. But it went around, but it also went back down on the other side of the house. So we didn't even have to go out on the street to ride our bikes. You know, it was kind of neat to be out there, or roller skate. I was really into roller skating for a while. But do you know, studies show right now that even 30 minutes outdoor can boost our vitality levels and curb depression. And yet, most adults are spending less and less time outside. And only 6% of our children, said this study, age 9 to 13, play outside in any typical week. 6%. Because now it's video games and on your iPad or your phone or whatever. And when I'm thinking about this idea of rejoicing in nature, I realize that we need to be part of the natural world because we are already part of the natural world. We need to stop separating ourselves and remember that who we are is the same as the trees and the plants and the animals and the insects and everything. So in one of the studies I read, they said that our growing estrangement from nature is unhealthy for our bodies and mind. The gulf between us fraying our bond with nature. Regular, direct contact with the natural world can soothe, heal, and uplift us. And I know one of my things when, for instance, when I was married and living in Hawaii, we lived in a really natural kind of place. And I would get angry about something, and instead of exploding about it, I would go for a walk. And so walking in nature was so calming. It was so, it helped me think, you know, about what I had been about to explode about, and, you know, helped me think about how to talk about it and, you know, how to feel about it and everything. And I remember those walks were so important to me. And even now, I live in this beautiful place. I love the nature that we have here in Eureka. I mean, you know, I live just a few blocks from Sequoia Park. People that live in Arcadia have that beautiful Arcata Community Forest Park. You know, we live in areas that we can be out in nature so easily, and yet I'm finding myself on the laptop or reading a book or doing anything to prevent from cleaning the house. I should go take a walk. That's a good excuse for not cleaning the house. But I remember when Donna and the board and everybody found the house for me, and I realized, oh my God, it's right next to the zoo practically, and I'm an animal person. You know, it's right next to, a forest park, and I'm a tree person. You know, so, and here I've lived here now 8 years, and, you know, I don't do that stuff as much as I did when I first got here. So this talk was basically for me. But I thought about the different things that I've learned over the years that we can do outside that help us come back to nature, so to speak, and be able to rejoice in nature. I mean, when I think about where we live, you know, I can be in a redwood forest with, you know, feel like I'm the only one in it, except for the birds and things, or I can be standing on a boardwalk at the ocean. You know, just in Eureka, we have so many places. And there's beautiful gardens, you know, like the Dahlia Gardens that are on West Street, I think it's called there, across from the zoo, or next door to the zoo, actually. We have so much beauty, and are we really allowing ourselves to experience it and rejoice in it and remember that this too is God? Absolutely all of it is God. So here's one that the Japanese, a tradition that the Japanese have had for years and years and years. Translated, it's called Shinrin Yoku. Translated, that means forest bathing. Now, when I lived in Vancouver, British Columbia, I lived a couple of blocks away from Queen Elizabeth Park, which was an extinct volcano that is now filled with flowers and trees and plants of all kinds. And I remember being curious because every Sunday, the whole park seemed to be filled with Japanese people who were having lunch and then walking through the park. And then I read about forest bathing. I thought, oh, that's what they're doing. So forest bathing is an active process. It's not just a matter of being near trees. Many species, including pine, yew, hop, hornbeam, and suji, emit biochemicals called phytoncides. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what they're emitting, a pungent atmosphere that is sort of like essential oils with antimicrobial properties that interact with our central nervous system. I mean, just think about that. You're walking through the redwoods, or Sequoia Park, for instance, and you can know that nature's medicine is working for you right then and there. You don't have to do anything. Just drive over there and take a walk. It interacts with our central nervous system to have calm anesthetic qualities. And this idea, this process of us walking or doing forest bathing, as the Japanese call it, not only benefits us, but it benefits the trees. I thought, wow, that is really, really amazing. That, I can look up at the 200 or 300 foot tall tree, and the process of me walking through it helps them. That's awesome. And then I have, in my own yard, I have 4 stands of at least 3 each trees. And I'm thinking, wow, I've gone up and I've patted them and I've talked to them, and I definitely thank them after every huge windstorm for staying where they are. A weird thing I'll mention, I can go out this little gate on the side of my backyard and go out to where if I took too many steps, I'd fall in the green belt down a gully. But I'm throwing my compost out there one day, and I happen to look and go, wow, it's so much lighter out here. And I'm looking, and suddenly I see that there's a tree that's down on its side. And I'm thinking, it's in that gully, and I'm thinking, when did that fall? And why didn't I hear it? Comes up to that koan, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there, does it make a noise? I never heard it. You think a huge, gigantic tree like that would at least cause the ground to shake. So I must not have been home when it fell down. That's all I could think. So the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and myriad other sources maintain that the simple act of intentional, attentive time with trees does these things. It decreases fatigue. It increases the ability to focus, even in children with ADHD. It speeds up recovery from surgery or illness. It regulates the endocrine or hormonal system. It enhances the ability to relax and get a better night's sleep, and, isn't this funny? It enhances your ability to get a better night's sleep, and it increases your energy. I suppose it's depending on what you want. But just imagine the idea of being able to rejoice in nature and have it work for you on a physical level. Have it work for your body. And just imagine that you're being there. You might be there for yourself, but you're also aiding the trees in their life and their physical bodies. So Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. You know, the Episcopal Church, Dr. Daniel, takes people on, he's gone to the training to be a forest bathing leader or walking leader, and he takes people to Sequoia Park quite often. I keep seeing it on the religion page and thinking, oh, I should go. Because wouldn't that be fun to go intentionally as a group and then be able to talk about, well, what did that feel like? Maybe it would encourage us to do more. So then there's another one that I know of that has also had scientific studies about it. They call it earthing. Earthing involves walking barefoot and connecting directly to the soil without the barrier of pavement or shoes. Until I moved here, I used to go barefoot a lot. But for some reason, I don't do it here so much. But that idea of, what? Cold, yeah, probably that's it. Yeah, you know what, as I've gotten older, I know I get colder for some reason. I've been getting colder. Anyway, it's a matter of our contact with the soil, with the planet. This science, they say, is still fairly new and limited on its subject, but the studies have shown how the electrically conducive contact between human bodies and Earth's surface seems to have an effect on health. It may diminish inflammation, enhance immunity and wound healing, and may also lessen pain by altering the numbers of circulating white blood cells, affecting inflammation. Isn't that amazing? I mean, we could go to the doctor by going to Mother Nature as our doctor, by going outside. This idea of walking barefoot on the earth is just, to me, it's a wonderful connection. I love that there's now been studies about our electric system that's running our body is connecting with Mother Nature's electric system. And I'm sure that when they continue to do tests on this, they'll find that not only is our body getting aided, but Mother Earth is getting aided as well. I do know one thing, that is if we, and you'll notice this if you ever go to the islands, most people do go barefoot all the time or wear slippers, thongs or whatever you call them. There's not so much trash around. Isn't that interesting? I forgot to turn my phone off. The other thing the last one I'm going to mention is to appreciate flowers. Really allow yourself to appreciate flowers. In my yard, it's really late on any of its bulbs and flowers and things. I did have one bunch of daffodils come up, but I have noticed that there's little tiny flowers in the weeds and in the grass in my front yard. And when you look at them, it's like every single one of them is different. Just like every single one of us is different. So flowers come in exquisite varieties. They come in an amazing diversity of colors. My favorites are roses. And I'm looking at my roses this morning when I was outside, and it was like, because I hadn't been feeling really well the last month or so, I didn't cut them back. And now they're just really stretching out and, all this new growth on them. And there's a part of me that knows that to keep those limbs strong, I have to cut them back. And there's a part of me that says, no, don't do it. Let them bloom. So we'll see what happens. So whatever flower really speaks to you, seek out its beauty. Let yourself put a bunch of them on your dining room table or on your desk or wherever it might be, and then study them. Really look at them. See how different they are. Some of us, I know that some of you do it because I've done it, where you get a bunch of flowers, like on the $5 thing at Safeway on Fridays, and you go, oh, those are pretty, and you take them home and you stick them in a vase, and the next time you notice them is when they're dying. How much do we allow ourselves to pay attention to nature? In Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, he writes this about flowers. Seeing beauty in a flower could awaken humans, however briefly, to the beauty that is an essential part of their innermost being, their true nature. The first recognition of beauty was one of the significant events in the evolution of human consciousness. The feelings of joy and love are intrinsically connected to that recognition. Flowers, more fleeting, more ethereal, and more delicate than the plants out of which they emerged, become like messengers from another realm, like a bridge between the world of physical forms and the formless. Isn't that beautiful? I think that my one note every Sunday is that all there is God. And this is what nature is. And I know this morning after rethinking what I was going to talk about and, or thinking it over, and I go outside to look at my rose bushes and the grass that's about this long since it's been raining and, things like that. And I found myself going, oh, look at those darn cocosmia. They've come right in through the gate, they're under the fence, and now the whole part of my back part of my front yard is like full of cocosmia. And yes, they have beautiful flowers, but they sort of just take over. I mean, they're in where I park my car, they're next to that, where my rhododendron bushes are. And they're taking over there. But my feeling wasn't, oh, look, how wonderful. There's more life here. Look at God expressing itself. My feeling was, grr. Now I'm going to have to try to dig all those bulbs out, and I know already from the front, by the parking lot, that even though I think I've dug all the bulbs, they're still there. They still come up. So I had no appreciation of this aspect of the divine. And it reminded me that there isn't anything that is not to be appreciated. Everything in nature gives us a feeling of reverence if we'll allow it to. Everything in nature allows us to recognize beauty, allows us to recognize the connection that we have. I think with all of our devices, etc., we've forgotten about that connection. TV probably did it first. Actually, though, a fleeting memory just went through. I think I was living in Vancouver at the time. In Vancouver, I used to take the bus everywhere because parking was really expensive, and it just seemed silly when the bus system was so good. And I remember getting on the bus one day and put my money in the thing, and I looked down the middle aisle, and every single person had earphones on. At that time, it was, your Walkman, right? I mean, it wasn't the phone and the Bluetooth or anything. I thought it was everybody had earphones on. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we're really separating ourselves. That was my feeling then. And now I see that in a lot of ways I've bought into that. What I know is that if we allow ourselves to really go outside and rejoice in nature, it will heal us. But as with any other relationship, there has to be some reciprocity. We have to allow ourselves to acknowledge it, to realize that our presence is healing for the forests, for the plants as well. And one of the ways that we can do this is by remembering it's all God. There is nothing but the one, this divine energy. And nature is such a perfect example of this divine energy. So we want to take care of it. I have a poem that I found that I thought would be a good one. I cannot find, I like poetry, so I copy it and save it in a file in my computer. Most of the time I put the author. This one I did not, and I could not find it by Googling it. So somebody out there wrote the wonderful poem, and it's called The Wanderer. Not wanderer, but wanderer. I wish that I could understand the moving marvel of my hand. I watch my fingers turn and twist, the supple bending of my wrist, the dainty touch of fingertips, the steel intensity of grip, a tool of exquisite design. With pride I think, it's mine, it's mine. Then there's the wonder of my eyes, where hills and horses, seas and skies, in waves of light converge and pass, and print themselves as on a glass. Line, form, and color live in me. I am the beauty that I see. Ah, I could write a book of sighs about the wonder of my eyes. And what of the wonder of my heart that plays so faithfully its part? I hear it running, sound and sweet. It does not seem to miss a beat. Between the cradle and the grave, it never falters, staunch and brave. Alas, I wish I had the art to tell the wonder of my heart. Then, oh, but how can I explain the wondrous wonder of my brain, that marvelous machine that brings all consciousness of wonderings, that lets me from myself leap out and watch my body walk about. It's hopeless. All my words are vain to tell the wonders of my brain. But do not think, O patient friend who hears these stanzas to the end, that I myself would glorify. You're just as wonderful as I, and all creation in our view is quite as marvelous as you. Come, let us on this seashore stand and wonder at a grain of sand, and then into the meadows pass and marvel at a blade of grass, or cast our vision high and far and thrill with wonder at a star. A host of stars, night's holy tent, huge glittering with wonderment. If wonder is in great and small, then what of him who made it all? In eyes and brain and heart and limb, let's see the wondrous work of him. In house and hill and sward and sea, in bird and beast and flower and tree, in everything from sun to sod, the wonder and the awe of God. So let's have our affirmation. And together. As I travel my path, knowing my connection with all life, I know the universe supports me and all beings. And Michelle is doing our affirmations this month. So let's pray. How grateful I am, as it says in this poem, to have these abilities to be able to experience the world, to be able to experience Mother Nature in particular. How grateful I am to remember that I and Mother Nature, I and the planet, I and the trees, I and the flowers, I and the ground I walk on are one and the same. We are all made of God's stuff. And so gratefully, I allow myself to contemplate this week. As I go about my busyness, I allow myself to stop, to notice where I am. I notice the skies, the plants, the animals, and I celebrate all of it. And I remember that none of it is really separate from me, because we're all one. We are all one. And I know that as we allow ourselves to rejoice in nature, all of nature rejoices in us. And I allow myself this week to experience that symbiotic relationship that keeps us grounded, that keeps us nurtured. How wonderful it is to remember all there is this one divine energy. And it is in, as, and through absolutely everything. The energy that I am is the same energy that you are. The energy that I am is the same energies as the trees and the plants and the ground and the insects and the birds and the fish, everything. There is nothing that is not divine. And so we celebrate this week as we acknowledge the power of growth. Our growth, nature's growth, the universe's growth. And right here and now, I declare that this growth is peaceful and amazing. It is plentiful. And all of us are healthier because of it in every way. So I give thanks for these words. I know that they are already so. And I honor Mother Nature with every fiber of my being, because I realize that nature and I, nature and all of us, is one. And so it is. This morning we have a gift. Our musician is Anna Hamilton. Thank you.
I had such a great time doing that song with you guys last time. I hope you don't mind doing it again. It was so wonderful to hear you all sing. And we're going to walk our walk, and we're going to talk our talk. We're going to walk our walk and talk our talk and tell the world all about love. And y'all can sing, and there's let's make a joyful, chaotic noise. Just don't hold back. Think black, baby. Let it happen, man. Don't be so Protestant. Let's get it on. All right, here we go. takes. Love honors others, not seeking for itself. Keeps no records of right or wrong. How upon some shelf. Love is the never cruel. Love is the truth. Love is the healer, is the fountain of youth, and that's why we walk our walk. That's why we talk our talk. Still kind of Protestant, and tell the world all about love. Come on, let's do it. That's why. That's why. That's why. That's what we walk our talk. Here we go. That's why we walk our talk and tell the world all about. That's why we walk our talk and tell the world all about love. Thank you very much. Bless your hearts and all the other parts.
Wow, 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 wow.
That's
better
than coffee.
I have a problem with that song. It was too short. Boy, you can't feel anything but love when you listen to that song. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's move forward with the sharing of our gifts, where we will have some more music as Edward and Amy send the collection plates around. Please donate what you can. If you've got cash, please donate it. As always, you can always add love into it, and if that's all you got, put love into the plate. And with that, we'll let the music begin. I forgot to do something. Marvin, could you go back a slide for us, please, so we can all say our affirmation together, and then we will do a blessing on what has come in. So together, let us all say, I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses the center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. And knowing there is only one energy, one divine force that circulates through all of eternity, and everything involved is indeed energy, we accept these gifts of love and money and cash as divine energy, knowing that they are going out into the community and into the universe to create and amplify the good that is already there. And for that, we give abundant thanks as we are incredibly grateful and say, and so it is. Put that back there. All right, and now we'll read our community statement of inclusion. Actually, we would like a volunteer to come up and read the community statement of inclusion. Who will be the brave person who will take the microphone from me today? Burl. And the last line, which is bolded, we will all say together. I left you.
Yeah, I can see. Okay. That's what I was going to, that's why I volunteered. Actually, you might have noticed some plants as you came in the back door. Or if you didn't come in the back door, go look. It's a bunch of starts that Corinne started prior to our sale, our plant sale. And they were needing to get into the ground. So if you want some, can plant them, take them, leave maybe a donation if you want. Anyway, so, got a hanging on every word. Community statement of inclusion. We, the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are a community that blesses each other, sees sacredness in all life, remains learners and listeners so that we may grow together, and understands that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
Thank you, Burl. Sure. It's a new month, it's a new song. It means I'm not going to do it because I don't know what I'm doing, but I would love to have Donna, can I throw you under the bus? And as a reminder, the choir will be meeting shortly after the service. And then for those of you who would like to be involved in the We Are the World lip sync, then we will meet after the choir. Yes, Rose?
How long is the choir practice?
15 minutes.
I was going to say the perfect length, but that's probably more specific.
We're in good shape. Choir is doing very well. We're in good shape, and we move quickly and efficiently. And the song is... What is the song? You know what the song is?
In the darkness.
Okay. that's meant for me. God has given me the choice to do what feels best for me. Knowing this, I speak my word and listen for what is to me. Now I choose to let God express His love and His happiness through me. Joyful music fills the air and love reigns through eternity. I accept the love of God and as it fills my heart and mind, I see everything around me mirroring the joy I find. I am thankful for the assurance that all the universe is one. I release my word with joy and know that it is surely. Can I get an amen? Amen. Well done.
I always forget to do this. Saturday, I'll be in Arcata playing at Red Book Curtain Brewery. That's the 8th in Arcata at Red Book Curtain Brewery from 6 to 9. Hope some of you can come out. Thank you.
Okay, I will add something. If you want to come and see some nature, it's supposed to be one good day this week, and that's Wednesday. The National Wildlife Refuge in Lolita from 9 to 11. I'm leading a walk. Join me.